What's up guys, Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys our Week 7 match for the PCL, or the Pokemon Championship League. This week we are taking on my good buddy Derpy and the Oakland Chompers. So, let's run through his team really quickly here. He has Mega Absol, Tapu Bulu, Nihilego, Snorlax, Decidueye, Bronzong, Quagsire, Haxorus, Arcanine, Conkeldurr, and Staraptor, and he drafted the Gracium ZZ Crystal. The only thing I wasn't expecting him to bring was Bronzong, and he actually brought it, so I'm astonished a little bit, because I think that there was no point in bringing it when I have an Excadrill that can go through it. I don't know, that's kind of just my thoughts, is that Excadrill kind of tears through it, and if he's not Levitate, then I don't know. Anyways, that's sort of the idea with that. I'm surprised to not see Mega Absol Tapu Bulu, to be completely honest. I think those were both really good Mons. I think Arcanine is a good Excadrill check for the most part with Intimidate. So I'm actually surprised to not see Arcanine either. Yeah, so notably, he's only got 2 forms of priority that he brought in Conkeldurr, potentially with Mach Punch, and Staraptor, potentially with Quick Attack. I do think Staraptor's Scarf, I think Haxorus is likely Life Orb. It really doesn't matter what Quagsire is because it dies to all my grass coverage. I have no idea what Bronzong is. And I'm expecting Snorlax to be Immunity. I talked about this in the Team Builder. Speaking of the Team Builder, if you haven't seen my Team Builder, you should check that out. I did just post it. We're bringing Physically Defensive Alolan Persian, Physically Defensive Miltank, Specially Defensive, Standard Assault Vested Primarina. We're bringing Expert Belt Salazzle with Toxic. And we're bringing pretty standard Mega Pidgeot and Scarf Moldbreaker Excadrill with Toxic, because Moldbreaker Toxic should go through the immunity of Snorlax. So, let's get into this. I'm going to lead with Alolan Persian because I can, and because I have Fake Out, and I want to get a little chip damage off on whatever he wants to lead with. So that's what I'm going to do, is lead with Alolan Persian here, as he is going to lead with Staraptor. So we're getting the Fake Out off here. Now, I think he's going for U-turn. Close Combat doesn't kill me, Final Gambit doesn't kill me if he's Final Gambit, so I'm just going to click Parting Shot and get the momentum back in my favor after he U-turns here. So he is going to U-turn, take some chip damage from my Rocky Helmet into Conkeldurr. Parting Shot makes that really good for me. I'm going to go into my Pidgeot, which threatens this thing with a Hurricane. Now that we see that he's Flame Orb but not Assault Vest, Hurricane demolishes that Conkeldurr. It kills it 100% of the time, even if he's max HP. He does go to Bronzong, which leads me to believe this thing is specially defensive. And we see that it is by how little damage it took from that Hurricane. So I'm going to U-turn out here into Salazzle, because I think Salazzle's the play, and he uses Toxic, which obviously doesn't affect Poison type. Decides to go into Snorlax now, which can take a Flamethrower relatively well. I try and Toxic this thing to see what it is. If it was Thick Fat or something, I should have calced to see if that was Thick Fat damage actually before I used the Toxic there, but we do find out that he is Immunity. Turn later than I should have. That was a misplay on my part. And he's going to start setting up on me, which is pretty bad, because this thing kind of just exos me. So I'm going to go into Alolan Persian here. If he wants to attack, then he's going to get some chip. Obviously, Fake Out when he's at +2 defense is pretty much doing nothing, but that's what I go for anyways. And he's getting Leftovers Recovery. He's at full HP, and he's +2/+2. Now he's not, because I Parting Shot into my Excadrill, as I think he's going to sit up again. No, he goes for Frustration, which is about half. A little less than half. And I'm going to go for the Toxic. I don't understand why Immunity just cured it there. Because Moldbreaker is supposed to go through that. So maybe Moldbreaker lets me Toxic it, but then I don't understand why Immunity cured the poison. So I clearly have no knowledge of what Immunity does, but that's really weird to me. And Excadrill was kind of my way to kill the Bronzong later, so that's bad that that happened. But it's a learning experience, I guess. Like I'm still confused, even 20 minutes after this has happened. I'm still confused about why that happened, and I don't know if there will ever be an answer for that. So I got in my Mega Pidgeot here, trying to get the confusion with the Hurricane. I don't on the first one, and he doesn't kill me yet, but I think I do on the second one, and I'm just sort of like hoping and praying that he hits himself. As he just keeps setting up, I'm going to Roost a couple times, or at least once here, maybe a couple times. And he shows the rest. So he shows his full set, and now I know during these 2 turns he can't touch me because he doesn't have Sleep Talk. So I get to full HP, and I think I'm going to U-turn out of there. Yeah, I do. I U-turn out of there into my Alolan Persian. I am carrying Foul Play on this, so it's going to do quite a bit of damage. I just fake out because I can. Ugh, and Foul Play is doing a solid chunk through all that defense, and he does finally hit himself in Confusion. And I'm going to Parting Shot out, lowers attack again. Go into my Miltank here. I tank that Frustration like a champ because Lucerne is Lucerne. Just going to Body Slam, get the paralysis off. Slow him down a little bit more. That really doesn't matter because he's slowing himself down, but hopefully I'll get some full paras is kind of the idea. I just want to get to full HP on my Miltank here as he's setting up again. Eventually I'm going to switch back into Alolan Persian right now, actually. Switch back into Alolan Persian because his attack keeps raising, so Foul Play is doing more and more damage to this thing. That's the play, is Foul Play. It's doing the exact same damage each time, and he's either going to have to rest, and that was the turn for him to have rested. So he didn't there, and I actually live on 1%. I'm not sure how much that mattered, but Rocky Helmet brought him to 7, and he'll be at 13, and now another Foul Play takes him out, so I'm going to kill him. Thank God that Snorlax is out of the way now. Staraptor comes in. I'm just going to sack my Alolan Persian, get some more chip damage off on this Staraptor. I don't care what he U-turns into because I actually get the momentum. Haxorus does not tank an Ice Beam from my Primarina, and I knew I lived a Poison Jab. That actually did a lot less than I was expecting. So I think he was like Lum Haxorus probably based on that because there was no Life Orb damage coming in there, which meant... I mean, he could have been Scarf Haxorus as well. I'm expecting it to have been Scarf Staraptor to outspeed like my Salazzle, but... And my, my Mega Pidgeot, but... Yeah, we tanked that Poison Jab really, really well. Go for the Ice Beam, and now Staraptor comes in here. I was just fine with sacking my Primarina. Get some more Brave Bird chip damage off on this thing. I'm going to go into Miltank, and he's locked into Brave Bird. He goes into Bronzong. I got my Stealth Rocks up. Stealth Rocks are really good for the Staraptor so that he has limited Brave Birds. Because at this point, Staraptor's kind of the biggest threat to my team because nothing on my team besides Miltank can take a Brave Bird. Like, both of my sweepers that I have left can't take a Brave Bird very well. I don't remember what I do here. Maybe a Body Slam? Yeah, Body Slam to see how much damage it's doing, and it's not doing a lot. I was kind of hoping to paralyze or something too. Now we're just going to switch into Salazzle here to take the Toxic, because I know he wants to Toxic me. It wouldn't have been the biggest deal because I had Heal Bell on Miltank anyways. This Quagsire comes in to tank the Flamethrower here, and Hidden Power Grass already OHKO'd this thing, so I didn't care if Quagsire switched in, because it was just switching into a free death. Staraptor here, I'm just going to double into my Miltank. Let him take a ton of Brave Bird recoil from hitting me. And now my play is to Milk Drink to get up to as much HP as I can as this Staraptor kills himself. And so we're at half HP, which is actually like pretty solid. Conkeldurr comes out here. I think I just decided to sack this. Yeah, so I just go for the Body Slam to get some chip, and he actually Drain Punch, so that Body Slam meant pretty much nothing. I'm wondering if Milk Drink was the play. I don't think I lived, though. So Mega Pidgeot comes out here, Mach Punches quite a bit. Hurricane's going to kill it always because he wasn't AB. Now the question is with this Bronzong, my calcs are telling me that Heat Wave is doing about 40%. So a Heat Wave into a Flamethrower from my Salazzle can win me the game here. I'm going to go for the Heat Wave, and it does 20. He's Heat Proof, turns out, and he Gyro Balls even while burned, and it kills me. And he's got Earthquake for my Salazzle, and Derpy actually wins the game 1-0. I'm kind of shocked, to be honest, that he was Heat Proof when I have an Excadrill that seems to be more of a threat to his team than Salazzle does necessarily. Like, he has the 2 grass types, but he had Quagsire for a reason, and he's got Arcanine potentially with Flash Fire, so I think it sort of cancels out. Heat Proof was just really good prep on Derpy's part, like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was good prep. I think maybe keeping Excadrill alive would have been best. He hid the fact that it was Heat Proof for a while. He baited me. Like, he baited me really well, because he switched into Snorlax on the Flamethrower and then Quagsire on the Flamethrower, and so I never actually got to find out if it was Heat Proof. I don't think me finding out if it was Heat Proof mattered in the end game, because I made the plays that I had to make to win the game. Maybe if Salazzle wasn't so frail and we lived that Earthquake, then it would have been a 2-hit KO actually, because we were expert built. So with the burn damage, canceling out the leftovers recovery there, looking at this roll right here, 34%, we would have actually killed if the Earthquake hadn't killed us. I don't think that the Earthquake was a roll by any means, though, because Thwazzel is extremely frail, and we were 4 times weak. Yeah, so GG's Derpy, we're actually now 4-3 in this. Next week we play Dang It and the OKC Thunduruses. Derpy was the start of a very hard end to my season, which seems to be a theme in a lot of leagues. The leagues that I'm in. Dang It's got a pretty much a stall team, and I'm not excited to face it or build for it, which is what I'm actually about to do. Anyways, GG's Derpy, and I will catch you guys for week 8 against Dang It and the OKC Thunduruses.